Today, we're preparing to reveal a hidden world. We're going to completely peel back the curtain on the highly engineered logistical machinery and, frankly, the massive physical infrastructure that powers ultra-elite travel. So forget the idea of just booking a first-class ticket or an exclusive hotel suite. The absolute pinnacle of modern luxury has evolved way beyond that. Today, we're diving into what's known as the Jet-to-Yacht Convergence. It's this fascinating multi-modal ecosystem that operates entirely out of sight from the general public, where intercontinental aviation seamlessly, and I mean seamlessly, meets deep water maritime navigation. So let's talk about 500 versus 40, because that right there is the fundamental difference between your travel reality and that of the global elite. While the rest of the world waits in line, billionaires have essentially engineered a way to turn an intercontinental flight into a super yacht voyage in under 30 minutes. Just think about a standard international trip for a second. You've got ticketing counters, security checkpoints, baggage claims, transfer gates, endless customs lines, right? A standard commercial traveler hits around 500 distinct touchpoints, but the ultra-high net worth traveler, they've whittled that whole mess down to barely 40. They've literally engineered the friction right out of the equation.
Part 1. The touchpoint friction gap and eliminating travel risks.
For decades, the traditional luxury vacation was actually fundamentally flawed. And it was flawed by fragmented, multi-leg journeys. Let's dive into this idea of last-mile friction. Take a highly sought-after destination, somewhere like St. Barths. Historically, to get there, intercontinental travelers had to land their long-range jets at Princess Juliana International Airport over in St. Martin, simply because the runway in St. Barths is just too short. Then they'd have to transfer to a smaller shuttle flight or a yacht tender. And here's the issue. This multi-leg transition exposes the entire itinerary to a massive cascade of vulnerabilities. We're talking customs bottlenecks, weather delays, and of course, unwanted public scrutiny. The new standard of luxury today, it demands the absolute, total eradication of that vulnerability. Section 2, Engineering the Perfect Hub, Caribbean Logistics. To actually solve this friction, the industry literally had to alter the map. It comes down to a physical constraint equation. Runway length versus marine draft. Consider Gustav III in St. Barths. It has this tiny 2,120-foot runway. You can really only land small turboprops there. But then, look at Canouan Island in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This place is the premier archetype of the modern hub. It boasts a massive 5,900-foot runway, perfectly capable of landing super mid-size and large private aircraft like a Gulfstream G550. And crucially, it's physically adjacent to the Sandy Lane Yacht Club Marina, which features deep water berthing engineered specifically for superyachts up to 100 meters in length. It solves both halves of that tricky physics equation in one single centralized location. So you might be wondering, how does the actual transfer work on the ground? Well, there's an invisible micro-coordination layer making it happen. Up to 72 hours in advance, private jet brokerages and maritime agencies synchronize every single step. As the jet flies, its real-time telemetry is bound directly to the yacht's operational status. The yacht is pre-positioned, it's fully fueled, and entirely provisioned. When that Gulfstream lands on the apron, customs can clear the passengers directly on the tarmac in a matter of minutes. Guests walk straight down the air stair into a waiting luxury vehicle and then directly onto the vessel. Your luggage literally doesn't even have time to get lost. And in places like St. Lucia or St. Vincent, digital maritime platforms like Sail Clear ensure the yacht is fully legally cleared to depart the exact moment the guests step on board. It's a completely seamless handoff. Part 3, Elite Economics, Assets, and Pricing. Executing this kind of highly synchronized charter requires navigating some incredibly volatile hourly rates. The pricing model here is entirely dictated by weight class and distance. A quick regional hop from Miami to St. Barths in a super light jet, that's going to run you about $19,000 one way. But when you start looking at transcontinental missions, say London to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you require heavy, ultra-long-range jets, something like a Bombardier Global 7500. For that kind of heavy lift, you are looking at over $75,000 one way. And remember, that massive expenditure, that simply gets you to the dock. That is just the intake fee before you even touch the water. Because once you are actually on the water, the financial scale shifts dramatically.
$4 million. That is the estimated weekly charter rate for pioneering vessels operating at the very apex of this market. A perfect example is the 390-foot feed ship Breakthrough. This was originally commissioned by Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates as a clean energy, hydrogen-powered floating lab. And despite that staggering $4 million a week price tag, demand among the ultra-rich remains so incredibly high that it is happily booked and sailing the globe right now.
And the assets themselves? They move with incredible speed. $370 million. That is what the 328-foot mega yacht Moonrise sold for in the summer of 2026. What is absolutely crucial to understand here is the velocity of that deal. This massive transaction was executed in under 6 months. It just goes to show you the extreme liquidity and the incredibly high-velocity nature of this ultra-high net worth asset class. It's a completely different world.
Section 4, the AI infrastructure boom and Anguilla's evolution.
Now, this unprecedented demand we're talking about is forcing massive infrastructure evolutions. And interestingly, it's being fueled by a shocking geopolitical windfall. Let's rewind to 1995. The territory of Anguilla was allocated the .ai country code top-level domain. Nobody really thought much of it at the time, right? But with the recent explosive global boom in artificial intelligence, demand for that specific domain suffix has just surged to astronomical levels. Anguilla is currently experiencing an unprecedented digital revenue windfall. And the amazing part, they are taking that digital cash and pouring it directly into a massive $100 million physical luxury infrastructure expansion. When you look at what this digital revenue is physically buying, it's wild. They're extending the runway at Clayton J. Lloyd International Airport to a massive 7,800 feet. That's going to allow those heavy intercontinental private jets to land directly on the island, bypassing hubs altogether. Simultaneously, they are developing Port Nimara in Mountains Bay. This is Anguilla's first dedicated superyacht marina, and it features 118 berths designed specifically for vessels up to 260 feet in length. So we have a direct causal link here. The global technology and AI markets are quite literally paving the runways for Caribbean air-to-sea convergence.
Part 5, the August 2026 bottleneck, capital versus supply.
But here is the catch. Even with all this new concrete being poured, the system has a breaking point, a moment where limitless capital crashes headfirst into physical supply limits. Industry forecasts actually point to late summer 2026 as a severely constrained market. Why? Because of something insiders call the event stack. You have families trying to squeeze in travel right before the academic year starts, sure, but you also have major global events compounding all at exactly the same time. You've got the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, the Hampton Classic, and Burning Man all happening. These events aggressively pull the finite supply of mid-size, super mid-size, and heavy jets away from standard Caribbean leisure routes, causing availability to just absolutely plummet. But the ultimate disruptor in all of this is actually astronomical. On August 12th, 2026, there's going to be a total solar eclipse sweeping directly across the Balearic Islands over in the Western Mediterranean, and the ultra-wealthy have quickly realized that the absolute best place to view a sunset eclipse is from the unobstructed horizon of the Mediterranean Sea. Because of this, travelers have already booked up a massive portion of the global superyacht fleet, and they've drawn a huge amount of heavy aviation capacity toward European hubs like Palma de Mallorca and Nice. It is literally draining the world's yacht and jet supply to one specific geographic location, which is creating a severe systemic shortage for anyone trying to book a Caribbean itinerary during that window.
We've seen today how billions of dollars and unexpected AI windfalls are completely engineering the friction out of high-end travel. We've seen how precise telemetry perfectly syncs a Gulf Stream to a pre-provisioned mega yacht. But as August 2026 is about to prove, you just cannot endlessly scale physical assets. Thank you so much for joining me to unpack this source material today. I want to leave you with this one thought. What exactly happens when the limitless capital of the global elite is finally forced to compete over a mathematically finite supply? Well, I guess we're all going to find out in August 2026.